welcome to Co-ople Mode, a couple's opinion on gaming. I'm Matt.
I'm Rose.
And welcome back from the Borderlands as we shot and stabbed and
Wild
burned.
demon dogs.
A lot of skags. A lot of angry skags. There's a couple big ones we had to fight.
There's a couple big ones.
Yeah. Though that one boss one we had, now that I think about it, we just
We annihilated that one the fastest.
Yeah, the random one we found out in the wild was tougher. I just ran up with my big old shotgun and got a ridiculous critical hit, and it just dropped. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I helped too, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, you definitely did. I'm not saying you didn't, but... So
How
you
dare
excited?
you?
You excited for a new game, a different game?
Yeah, I'm kind of in between stuff right now, so it's a good time to hit me with something new because it'll be a little bit easier to get me to sink my teeth into it.
Okay. Well, I was thinking...
I hope it's good.
I've been kind of making you, the last couple games for sure, has been a lot about leveling up, progression, right?
Yep.
And you've only gotten so far, and you don't get to experience all that end game stuff.
I'm only
right?
gonna get so far in a game like that in 2 weeks with doing all the other stuff that we do, right?
So I thought this week, why don't I pick a game where it doesn't matter how long you play, you can do the same stuff as a newbie as someone who's played the game a long time. It's all about just actual personal experience. Time to put on your pirate hat. We're going to play Sea of Thieves. Time to be pirates.
That is not what I thought you were going to say. Isn't that game huge?
Yes and no.
Our son is going to be so happy.
Yes, he is. He's known about it for a while.
Has he?
Yeah. He was. It's so funny.
He loves Sea of Thieves.
I was thinking about doing this, and
He
by
got it
some
too?
sort of psychic energy, all of a sudden he's like, "Dad, let's play Sea of Thieves." And I'm like, "Well, hold on. I'm gonna make mommy play it next. Can you wait out and we could play 3 people together, and we could go on adventures together." Yeah. And then he forgot, and then he tried to ask you to play. And I think we just didn't have the time that day to play. It was during our work week. It's we don't have enough time to set that up.
Yep.
So let's wait, and we'll play it this weekend. And it's hey, guess what?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
He did a good job keeping it secret.
Yeah, he did. I'm like, keep it secret, keep it safe. Or Gandalfing him. So, Sea of Thieves was published by Microsoft Studios and developed by Rare. Donkey Kong,
Yep.
Banjo-Kazooie, all them good things, right? So, yeah, we talked about it in the Donkey Kong episode that Rare got acquired by Microsoft. And this was one of those first big first-party games that was released when Xbox started Game Pass. It was originally released in March of 2018, and it came out on Xbox One, and you could play on Windows through the Windows Store, or my Game Pass on PC. You're able to play through there. And then eventually in 2020, they did release it for PC on Steam, so Steam players could get it as well.
All right.
Now, here's the kicker. This is going to be interesting.
I love Steam.
At the time of release, it was getting a Metacritic score of 67 to 69. Which sounds kind of low compared to some of the stuff I've been feeding you, right? More recent reviews said it more around 70s and 80s, because this is a games as service game, like Fortnite.
Yeah.
They had in plan when they released this to support this game for the next 10 years when they released it. They actually won an award in 2021 at the British Academy Games Awards for Best Evolving Game. That year. It did really well when it first came out. They had 1 million players 2 days after it launched right away.
Wow.
But here's some interesting numbers we can throw on top of it. So when it finally launched on Steam, Sea of Thieves had 15 million different players, with just 1 million of them being from Steam alone. But we're going to jump forward to the most recent update that I have. In June of 2021, they had released a Pirates of the Caribbean crossover. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So they had 4.8 million people log in during that month. 4.8 million different people logged in to play Sea of Thieves that month. Which is like, that was their new record. The highest they ever got before was like 3 million.
Oh, wow.
And up to December, during their last 2022 showcase, Sea of Thieves, they have reached over 30 million different players. Now, this isn't concurrent players. Like, what was that I was talking about?
I've
Baldur's
made
Gate.
an account and logged in, basically.
30 million different people have played and tried this game. And 5 million of them alone have been on Steam since it released on Steam. So, like, it's been building. More people want to try it. More people want to jump in and check out the new stuff that they keep adding.
I have a question, though.
Yeah.
Like, what were the complaints about the game when it came out and it got such low scores?
So,
because 60s is really low. I can't think of another game that you've had me play that was that low.
yeah. So the problem was people felt like there wasn't enough content in the game to keep you playing because there isn't like a level progression system. You need to have stuff to do to keep you playing, right?
Right.
And in the beginning, there was only like 3 different guilds essentially that you would get missions from, 3 different kinds of missions, and you would go do those missions, turn in the rewards, get money, and you could spend money on cosmetic stuff, right? And that was just the loop you were doing. So some people really loved it, and some people are like, okay, this is kind of boring. Like, I enjoyed it, but like, I can only do the same exact thing so much for so long, right? So
you'd need to have a passion for being a pirate to want to keep playing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I
and
get
it is better the more people you play with. And I had a tendency, most of the time I ended up playing by myself. So it's like, by yourself, it's meh.
Like most games, always better with somebody else.
Yeah, even a single player game is better with someone there to help you out and talk to you and laugh with you when silly stuff happens. I think it was just when they started, it was kind of bare bones, but they constantly listen to player input and feedback, and they make those changes as time goes on. Originally, one of the main enemies you fight in the game are these skeleton pirates, like old pirates that have died. You got to fight skeletons. Well, they were never going to have skeleton ships sailing around. It was always supposed to be just other people, right?
Yeah.
Well, eventually people like, what would be really fun is to have an AI skeleton ship I can go and fight if I see it. I think some people end up feeling bad attacking other people just trying to make treasure. And but that's part of what a PvP server is.
Also kind of what being a pirate's about.
Yeah. We'll get more into that later. Another thing, Sea of Thieves has had pretty frequent collaborations with other Microsoft franchises and even Rare stuff. So there's like design choices for your boats, like figureheads. You can get a Banjo-Kazooie figurehead or Ori and Will-o'-the-Wisp. There's ships with designs based on Halo and Gears of War. They did the crossover event with Pirates of the Caribbean. So like Jack Sparrow's in this game that you can, go do those missions, which is really cool. They also just recently did a collaboration with Lucasfilm Games' Monkey Island series. So a lot of the newer people won't recognize that, but people older than us will definitely recognize the Monkey Island series. It was a point-and-click adventures on PC, kind of like Myst or... it's hard. Monkey Island is usually what I go for to describe these kinds of games. But yeah, so they have all this interesting stuff you can go and do and find, and like they mix pirate lore from other games in there, which is really cool. It's like, yep, it's just a part of the Sea of Thieves, and which makes sense.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
So this game was originally conceived in 2014. Now, Rare was kind of inspired by people playing these PC games like DayZ and Rust, and even an older one, EVE Online, where people use the game tools to kind of create their own stories. Like there isn't like a big narrative overarching. Like you just go in, play the game, and the experience you get depends on what you do and who you interact with, right? But if anybody's played DayZ or Rust, these games can be pretty hardcore, especially if you run into some people that like have put a ton of time and have like really crazy stuff, right? So Rare was trying to think of different settings to put this in. They thought about vampires, they thought about dinosaurs before they were like, you know what? A pirate theme really works. They were inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean and the film The Goonies.
Oh, funny. Yeah, okay, I know. Yeah.
So this is how that goes. Now, Rare talked about how punishing those games, and they wanted to have a more lighthearted, accessible version, but they wanted people to be drawn together. So how they were inspired by the Goonies is it's a group of friends that are bound together looking for treasure, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to create that feeling, that sense of exploration. So it's all about like they took out originally when they were making it, you could betray your teammates if you wanted to. You could turn on them, try to steal the treasure, but they took that out because you know what? They wanted there to be no reason for you to screw over your teammates on your boat, especially if you're playing with random people.
Yeah.
And so it's all about
otherwise, gosh, it would just be a cesspool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if they let that happen, it would have gotten real rough. I think it was a smart choice. And like, it means that, hey, I'm going on an adventure with my buds to go get stuff. They were also inspired by Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda.
How are they going to conquer it? Friendship.
Yeah, friendship. That's how you win. Friendship. So yeah, they were inspired by the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which you kind of will get the vibe as you sail around. Because that, I mean, you did that a lot in Wind Waker.
Yep.
Especially the old one before the remaster where you got that really good sail that lets you just the wind turn whichever direction you're facing. Oh my God, that's a godsend. Oh, so they also implemented what they call the infinite pirate generator. So instead of allowing you to completely create your avatar, you just hit this button, a bunch of random pirates show up, and you can pick one of those as your characters. Because of the style of game they made, they were worried that people were just going to make like abominations and that would kind of pull you out of the game. So they purposely did it that way. But honestly, as a person, like I can get, if I really want to make my character look how I want, I can get stuck in that for a long time. And just having like press the button, I don't like these ones, press the button. I don't like these ones, press the button. This one's good. And I just pick that one. Like it kind of makes it easier to jump into the game, I feel like.
Yeah. Character creation. I probably spend the longest on it with Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Yep.
It can take a while. Oh no, I lied. Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah, you took a long time for that one. But that one makes a lot of sense. When you get a game like that where you can really dig into some tools, it's hard not to be like, I just want to look at everything.
There was a lot, but I will say it didn't go too far with it either. There was still a lot more they could have let you do that they kind of don't. They do corral you, at least.
Yeah.
There's some fencing there to keep you from going too far. There's just so much to do. I think that's why it took forever.
Yeah. So almost all of Rare's 200 staff members ended up working on this game. And it was one of the first games they didn't use their engine for. They've had their own proprietary engine that they built their games on. And this one, they just used Unity, which is under some crossfire recently. I'm sure anybody who's played games will hear about that. I'm not going to go into depth on that because that's a whole
I don't know about it. I don't know.
Didn't hear about it?
No.
They were trying to charge... They were trying to charge...
I'm going to make you talk about it because I stuck my head in the sand. I didn't hear this.
So Unity was trying to change their pricing model for people who use their service to charge more for people who get more downloads. So if someone downloads your game using Unity, Unity will take a cut of that. So basically it would make indie developers unable to use Unity because there would be no way for them to keep up. There's like this limit of games you could sell where if you sold under that, they wouldn't overcharge you, or you'd have to sell millions of games.
Wait, hold on. I can't tell if I'm understanding this. So if your game gets downloaded a lot, they charge you for it? Is that what
so
you're saying?
you would have to pay Unity per download.
isn't Unity supposed to pay you because people are buying your game through Unity?
No.
How does this work?
I think
don't know
you're thinking
what's
about
happening.
Epic Games or
I don't know. I don't even know what Unity is.
Unity
We don't need
is
to
just a game engine. This is why I didn't want to jump into it.
All right.
Basically, it's what people build their games in, and their pricing model changes depending on if you're indie
That
or if
still
you're
doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't, and that's why it didn't go over well. Yep. That's exactly
I'm trying to figure that your game was super successful, so we're going to charge you money?
Yep. Every time someone downloads your game, you got to pay us.
How can they do that?
If you agree to their rights and services.
I don't know.
things,
I
yeah.
don't know how this stuff works.
Yep. I don't know.
I'm not going to waste my brain
I've kind of
power.
like jumped out of that. I think some changes were being made, and I get it. Like, you need money to keep making your stuff to an extent, but they already have an in-game store for assets. They already have all this stuff that you got to do and pay for, and it just came across as greedy. That's all it really
it
came
sure
across
does.
So, Rare, getting back on track, notice that
Sorry.
it's okay. In many multiplayer games, experienced players would focus on grinding for end-game loot and experience and leveling up. And then new players would worry that they're missing out on the game because like they're so far away from that end game stuff. It's hard to get there, right?
Yeah.
You see all this cool stuff. So they introduced what they called horizontal progression, in which players would only earn cosmetic items as they achieved a higher rank. So getting higher ranks in these guilds as a pirate will get you access to unique cosmetic items, and that's it. So it will lend to a community where an experienced player is more likely to help out an unexperienced player through it. Because it doesn't matter. Anything I'm doing is helping me do my stuff, but it's also helping you do your stuff. I can't do anything different or special, and I can show you the ropes. And that's kind of the community that's come from it, which is actually really, really cool.
Yeah, they thought this through a lot. You can tell.
Yeah, and
It's
like
nice.
like I said before, like they were opening this up to players early on to get that feedback to really make it the best experience.
Yeah.
Another case of, hey, you listen to the players and what the players feel like they need and want, and if you do that, players are going to like your game. They feel like they're listened to.
Yeah.
And if it makes the game more fun, that's just better for everybody,
Good
right?
for everybody, yeah.
Yep. Normally the game takes place in a shared world, so other pirate crews are in the same map you are. And they kind of have it set up so they'll space you out, so you should run into other people about every 15 minutes to a half hour. And that's true. I've always seen another pirate ship in the distance, and I usually, when I'm playing with our son, I keep my distance because he gets a little worried we're going to get raided.
Yeah,
Not that
he
that
does.
always happens. We've had an adventure where we were just sailing through, and then someone hollered at us through a megaphone, like, hey, no, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just trying to get some fishing achievements. I ran out of bait. Do you have bait? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. So we stopped by, loaded him up with all the bait we had, because that's not what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, here you go. He's like, oh, thanks. And he threw us a treasure chest. And he's like, yeah, is that good? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Good luck with your fishing. And we just went off on our way. And it was like a really genuine, nice interaction. And we just kind of kept going. The hardest part was I turned off my in-game voice because I'm usually playing over a headset in a party with our son.
Yeah.
So I had to like, okay, where's the setting to turn my voice on in game so I can talk to this person? But yeah, it was just a nice, genuine interaction. And I
Doesn't
thought that
sound
was
very
really cool.
piratey to me.
Yeah,
I'm just
for
kidding.
that, I've had 3 experiences where I've had a galleon roll up on me and sink my ship. So
That sounds like a pirate.
yeah. Oh my gosh. So this game is really just about learning what you can do in the game and how to best do it. Like, it's not about getting some special abilities. It's not about getting a cool sword.
No, it always looks to me like there's a lot you can do in this game, honestly. What I've seen, it looks like there's a ton of stuff you can do.
Oh yeah, now they've added so much stuff.
You're always doing something wild every time I see you playing.
Yeah. So they what's also nice is all the big updates, it's free. Like, they don't make you pay for the DLC because they want everyone to be on the same page all the time. It's always free. Now, during one of the updates...
That's awesome, especially in a game like this where you are trying to build that sense of community.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to do that. That's wonderful. That's so good to hear.
Yep. So, they made money from people buying the game outright. Like, we're lucky, I've always touted I really enjoy Xbox Game Pass and it works for me. So I've been able to play it right from the get-go, but lots of people have purchased it. And then they recently added a Pirate Emporium where you can pay money for cosmetic items. So, but that's all it is. You pay money, like you see a cool ship and you're like, I want that figurehead. I want all that stuff. Pay money for it. And you can. There's like you can get a little pet companion with you, a monkey, a parrot, a kitty cat, or a dog that you can have with you on your ship. And does it help you do anything? No. Is it cool to have a monkey that hangs out with you? Yes. Like, if I want to pay $10 for a monkey, go ahead, pay $10 for a monkey. Like, I always have a little bit of mixed feelings about cosmetic things and all that stuff. But like, if the only microtransaction in a game is for cosmetics, I'm fine with that because there is so much you can get in this game just by playing this game.
Yeah.
Like, I've never felt like I had to. And if I really, really want to, I could. But I always just go, I make a goal. Like, what do I want? Is that what I want? Okay, I'm going to save up money till I get that. Like, that's kind of always my end game. And I think you can very rarely get little bits of the paid currency to use in the Pirate Emporium if you find certain special chests and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So, I mean, if you're willing to put a hell of a lot of time in the game, yeah, you can still get some of that really cool
You might
cool
be
stuff.
able to buy that monkey.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I think it was around the 4th or 5th update, they added what was called Tall Tales. Now, this is what really, to me, I feel like really made this game. They were avoiding having like narrative stuff in the game.
Yeah.
But they added these tall tale adventures so you can go on a specific adventure with your buddies and you usually get some fun loot with it, but like it's kind of cool to have a story and it'll like have puzzles for you to solve. You have to read books, read these maps. It'll give you clues. It's like, oh, it's in between this island and this island. You have to go and you have to dive under the water. So you have to look on your map, look between these islands. I'm like, I think it's right here. Check it out. And then you find a sunken pirate ship and it's like, oh man, that's cool. Like, you find the next clue and you keep going and going. And it is so interesting and it really gives you more purpose other than just like, I'm going to go dig up some treasure chests. Like that's a good thing I usually do with our son. Like, what do you want to do today? I want to go fight skeletons. Okay, we'll go fight some skeletons. I want to go dig up treasure. Okay, we'll go dig up treasure. And even when you're going out and doing those regular things now, random things will happen. You'll find some loose treasure lying around. Or we fought this like crazy giant crab monster that showed up out of nowhere.
Awesome.
There's a megalodon that'll swim around. So all of a sudden the music will change and huge shark starts going around. And like, I was going to try to fight it. And our son always is like, no, we got to go. We got to get out of here. And it won't attack you if you don't attack it, which is nice. But you can also run into the Kraken. Now the Kraken will attack you. And that one's real scary. The water will go dark.
Yeah.
You never see the Kraken's body.
Really?
You see the tentacles come out and they kind of have like teethy mouths on the tips of them.
Oh, really?
And they'll get a tentacle that'll wrap around your ship. You got to cut it so it lets go of your ship. You got to be repairing your ship. You got to be shooting cannonballs at these tentacles as you're trying to keep them off of you. Like some of the most intense moments I've had is like stuff like this happening out of the blue. You're not ready for it. And you're like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. And it's a lot of fun and it's so cool. And all just the little stuff you find. The islands are beautiful. The game is pretty. Like there'll be a sunny day, the wind's at your back and you're sailing the direction you go. And it just feels so good.
Oh man.
And you bust out your like accordion, someone busts out their guitar. And then what's nice is if you start a song, the person who starts playing will play the guitar part of that song. They'll play the drum part of that song. So like you get more people, you can have like a full band going of people just playing music and it's so great. this is a lot of fun, and it's like no pressure. No pressure. You just do what you want, like, and get into fun shenanigans and pirate.
Sounds relaxing and just super enjoyable. Oof.
Honestly, like,
sounds good.
I could just sail the boat. The boat sailing is so good in this game.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's not like Wind Waker.
It is like, it is a simplified, realistic version. That's how I'll put it. Like, I get it. I'm not going to jump on a sailboat and be able to sail that thing perfectly. But in here, you got to do all the same basic things to make it work right. And it feels so good when it's working right. And like the bigger boat you get, you need more people to move around to the different spots. I have the most experience on the sloop, which is the smallest 2-person boat.
Yeah.
And I can run that one by myself, right? That one's not bad. But you get into the Brigandine, the 3-person one, which we'll probably get some experience with. That's a 2 to 3-person one. Bigger, more cannons, can hold more stuff. But it's a little trickier because like the map isn't right there, easy to check out. You need someone to tell you which direction to go. Like this game promotes communication and working together just to sail the boat, just like a real big old boat.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. We'll have to just like jump in and check out the different boats so you can look and see the differences, because you'll probably think that's cool. But I'm excited for you to try this. You've always loved pirates, like,
yes.
In the Pirates versus Ninjas, like you were pirates all the way.
Yep.
I was a ninja kid.
Always been fascinated. Always wanted to know what that felt like to just sail around, be gone all the time, going who knows where, just scraping by constantly.
Yep. So, do you have any questions before we jump into it? Anything you're curious about?
I don't think so. I'm just mostly really excited to try it after listening to you talk about it.
Yeah.
It just sounds really enjoyable.
Like I said, as a games at service, like jumping in now after jumping in during the beginning, like there's so much more happening. Even if you just do those regular things that they started with,
yeah,
you come across new things. You come across hidden bottles with treasure maps. You come across like
that just sounds
clues.
Fun.
And like hunting for that is fun. It's like,
yeah,
there's the simple one, which is like a map of the island, and then you got to find the island on the big map by the shape and how it looks, and then go to those spots. That's cool. Or you'll have one, it'll be like, hey, go to this island. You got to find the name, and then it'll be like, okay, go to this rock on the north side. Okay, you go there, another clue comes up, and it's like, hey, take 20 paces this way, and then, oh, okay, you see a tree, you got to take a left, and then you go this way 10 paces, dig there, and like nothing makes you feel like a treasure hunting pirate more than like, oh, take my paces, dig, and then that treasure box pops up as soon as you start digging. And then usually skeletons pop up because they're pissed about you taking their treasure, but that's okay. Yeah. You can fight those
to be
up.
Expected.
I'm excited to play this with you. I'm excited to play it all 3 of us together as a family. I'm hoping we can dig into some more of those tall tales. It's hard to sit down and get
those sound really up my alley too.
Yeah, those are my favorite, but it's hard to be like, okay, let's sit down and do that with our son, because it's like, okay, he just wants to have a little mini adventure, and that's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I want to dig into some meaty narrative stuff. But we'll get out of here. We're gonna go travel the high seas, and we will see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome back from the glorious Caribbean-inspired island paradise, with quotation marks, you can't see me doing it, of Sea of Thieves. I mean, what's a few skeleton pirates roaming around in paradise?
It's pretty much paradise, besides that part.
Other than these guys just freaking straight crunching through a coconut. Gosh, they got to have steel teeth, I swear to God. Well, we're ready to hear kind of how you feel, opinions, vibes. Let's see.
Well, I think this game is a little bit special because I played it with you and our child the whole time I played. I was playing with people, and that made it really, really fun.
Yeah.
That's what makes this game. And I know we've said that a lot about other games in the past. Like, it's more fun if you play with people. But, like, I can't imagine even wanting to play this game on my own.
See, and I talked about that in the first half, about how a lot of me playing this originally when it first came out was just me by myself in the sloop, which is fine sailing the boat. That's kind of enjoyable in itself, but you don't get that sense of adventure and camaraderie. And cooperative games like this, I mean, you are fighting against other people sometimes, but it really just makes it so much more fun when you're doing goofy, fun, exciting things with the people you care about.
It really makes it. The sailing, you mentioned that, like, the sailing in this game is kind of relaxing and enjoyable and fun.
Yeah.
And especially when you're playing with other people and you're kind of coasting in the correct direction for a while and you all pull out your instruments and start playing together. It is just, you're right. Like, that's when the camaraderie comes into play, and it's just a lot of fun just to be silly.
And even I got to learn a little bit of new things. I've always operated the sloop, the smallest ship you can run. It's just a 1 to 2 man ship, and I'm really used to that ship. Like, I know how it runs, I know how it operates. And when we were sailing around in the Brigadine, which is the 2 to 3 person ship, the anchor goes down, but it doesn't stop quite as fast as the sloop does.
No.
And I was like, oh, this is the right point for a sloop, and I hit it, and then we just freaking like,
yeah, it's amazing when you're trying to all work together on when to start and stop and get the sails. And, you know, it's you and I kind of making things happen.
Yeah. Our son's kind of running around just looking at whatever. Can you go look at the map? Okay, and then he does it, and then I have to come down off the crow's nest and go into the underdeck, check the map.
I'm trying to raise the anchor all by myself, which takes forever with one person. And then you're like, okay, everybody, we're getting close to the island. Get ready to drop the anchor. Now, right now. Boom, we crash. Everybody panics and needs to repair and scoop out water. So it's a lot of fun. It's just so silly that way. But I like how the mechanic works to sail the ship. I like that you gotta raise and lower the sails. You gotta turn them into the wind to get actually any speed going. Raising the anchor, dropping the anchor, steering the ship with the wheel is a lot of fun. That's usually where I'd plant myself because I just like doing it. It's really fun to just be sailing across, watching out for islands and other players and their ships, skeleton ships. We got into a battle or two, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, we got into some fights with skeleton ships. Luckily, we didn't run into any angry other pirate players, though I did see a big galleon named The Inevitable, and I saw a ship sinking that he left from, so he must have been taking his loot away. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so not ready for a battle with a crew of 4 people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know what I'm doing, but I don't play this enough to be good at it.
I'm not a professional pirate.
Yeah, I'm a part-time pirate.
Yep. It's so fun though. And like when you guys are trying to fire off the cannons and I'm steering, trying to get you guys in line so that you can get good shots. It was really, really fun to have that battle.
It was exciting.
Yeah, it was. It was exciting. I think we lost one and died, and then the second one we actually made it. And that was pretty fun.
We fought a skeleton galleon, and we didn't quite get through them. Well, what had happened actually is our son got distracted, and he said he was fixing the ship, but he forgot to take the water out, and then all of a sudden we just stopped. And it's like, why aren't we moving? It's because we're sinking. There's too much water in the ship. Oh yeah, you got to make sure you bucket that out. And then the second time against the Brigadine, we did it. We got a good battle. But I was hoping we'd run into a megalodon, the big shark, because every time our son and us play, we always run into one. Always. And like, I was surprised we never ran into one as a group. We didn't even run into the Kraken, which is an experience you have to experience at least once.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to, I'm not going to lie, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I think I was kind of surprised by this game because when we started it up and I'm getting a hang of the controls, like the tutorial was pretty boring. And it's not It felt really long to me. It's really not super long, but it felt really long. Like there's a lot of dialogue that just, it's like, come on, I want to play. I think especially because like I'm trying to get into the party with you guys to all play together. It's like, please stop talking, Pirate Ghost Man. Just tell me what buttons to push so I can go. So it was a little bit torturous.
Yep.
And then I realized that there's radial menus in this game, and I was like, oh. But I gotta say, it wasn't that bad. Once I figured out how they work, I was pretty much fine. I do still believe, though, radial menus are slower. Like, it is slow for me, or maybe I'm just slow at them. I can't get through it as fast. It always feels like it takes a second to get to what you want and select it. And I don't like that, because when you are in panic mode, when the stuff is happening, you do not want to wait that long. But a good way that they balance that out is just press Y for your weapon to come out, for your sword or your gun, whichever type you decide. And that helps a lot. Like, if you get jumped by a ghost or a skeleton or something, boom, you got your weapon
One
out,
button, you're fight ready.
which is good. I'm glad they did that way. If you had to go into the radial menu for that, I would have thrown the controller at the TV and said, no, you ruined the pirate game. How dare you?
No, the radial is only for
food, planks, equipment.
Yeah.
Music instruments.
Yep. It just stuff like that. Even the emotes, that's how you do that. And
you can pull out your quests and your maps that you find, and really they made it work pretty well. I'm gonna say like that's the best radial menu system that I've seen so far. So
yeah, it
doesn't mess you up too much. I
don't think I ever make a mistake when I'm trying to select something, because some of them it feels like it's touchier on the diagonal sometimes,
right?
And you never get what you want.
Felt pretty solid.
Yeah,
the direction you go is where you end up on the menu.
That is a good thing to point out, that the radial menu does feel good.
Yeah, it actually did.
Yep,
it worked. The only thing, like, there's, when you pick up items, you automatically have it in your hand, and that kind of annoys me.
Oh, yeah.
You find a coconut on the ground, boom, it's in your hand.
Yep.
It's like, no, I just want it in my inventory. I don't want to hold this coconut right now. I'm busy. I got things to do.
I don't need to hold this piece of snake meat.
Yeah. Carrying this raw snake meat with me wherever I go.
I always love it. Like, I get it. It's a game. You kill a chicken, one drumstick. You kill a snake, one section of the snake. You kill a pig, pork chop. You kill a shark, one shark steak. It's like, I killed a whole shark. Don't I get at least 2 pieces of food?
They're a little bit stingy with it, but there's lots of food everywhere.
Yeah,
it's a lot of single pieces of everything everywhere. So, I mean, and that's good. You got to eat. You got to eat to heal. Mm-hmm. I think the other aspects of the game, like all the different guilds and shops and stuff, that got a little bit overwhelming, just because I need to I think playing with a party, we're always so busy and we're like, go, go, go. Mm-hmm. And it didn't give me the time to like really figure out what's what around there. And and I was kind of okay with that, because it was just fun to play. I wasn't going to worry about that stuff. And I liked that part of it, but there's a lot going on, more than I thought there would be, between like the gold and you gotta create a rare tea. Who's gonna want that? You got like this villainous skull. Who's gonna buy that from you? You get a lot of different stuff throughout this game.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you got your 3 main guilds. Gold Hoarders, which is all about giving them treasure chest or any type of treasure and gems. Mm-hmm. You got the Order of Souls, which is all about like pieces, like the bounty skulls, all that kind of stuff goes to them. And then you have the Merchant Alliance, and that's where crates of tea, luxurious cloth, there's like a box of ore, like there's all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different items in this game that you can just find and use and collect.
You'll get one like it's a box of wood planks, and you'll find it and it'll have 37 of 50 in there. Yeah. Well, you go around, you fill it up with 50, and then you can sell it with stuff. There's stuff like that. Or even you can find animal cages to collect animals and deliver them. This is why why in our time playing it, I focused us on the gold hoarders and the Order of Souls. We usually went and looked for treasure, classic pirate, right?
Yeah.
X marks the spot. And then we looked for bounties on these skeleton pirates that we have to go kill and deliver, right?
Yeah.
When you do Merchant Alliance quest, they're timed. So it'll be like, hey, you got to deliver this to this island by this time, and they'll give you an item. So I never liked that as much because it's like, okay, I have to go over there and I have to do that. Some people like that more. I like to just go dig up treasure. That's what's fun for me. That's my favorite.
I kind of like that they have that though, because it's a different game style of play right there.
Yeah, that one kind of focuses on like too. Getting there, you know.
Yeah,
you know.
How well can you get there? How fast?
Yep. But they're all fun. So what you didn't really get to experience is as you deliver more items and complete charters that you can purchase from these various guilds, you get harder ones. So we usually did ones that you and our son had, which are a little lower level than mine.
Yeah.
If you do one of my gold hoarders charters, it's like I get 4 maps and there's like 8 treasure chests on each island. Like there's so many, like it takes so long to get through them all.
Really?
Yeah, but you usually find a lot of good stuff. Like that's for really loading up that hoard. You know what I mean? But you also can get like special items. So as you upgrade yourself in the guild, you can get like a special gold hoarder shuttle. The Order of Souls has a cool cup, which whenever you put grog in there, it's like glowing blue, which is kind of cool. So I always like to have that as my cup. The Merchant Alliance, I think it's a cool watch. That's how you can tell how much time has passed and how fast you have to deliver stuff. So it all depends on what you're into. So luckily they do have some various avenues for you to enjoy the different aspects of the game.
Sure.
Then the other thing was the Tall Tales. We only got to do one.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that a lot because that added more of a puzzle aspect into going and getting the treasure, and it was even more cooperative. Like all of us had to work together, and I really enjoyed that quest a lot. Like that was fun for me.
I feel like doing the other regular guild charters is like, oh yeah, we're just going on a like little mini adventure. I'm having fun with my buds. We're just doing whatever.
Yeah.
When you do a Tall Tale, it feels a little more
serious.
Epic. Yeah, it's like, oh, we got to find this. And you know, there's always some story. We did the first Tall Tale, which is finding the Shroud Breaker. And it's like, here's a journal to like, you got to find this uncharted island, sunken ship. Like there's all these cool little different puzzle pieces each step along the way to make it interesting, really make you think about what you have to do. And that one, I think that was one of the smartest things they added.
Yeah, that was a really good choice in the game.
And I would like to take some time at some point and try to do another one with you guys.
I would say this game is a game that I would probably not play on my own, but definitely be willing to jump in if that was the vibe in the house. I'd be like, yeah, I'm down for
being a pirate.
Yeah, it is enjoyable. I've always loved pirates. It's fun to actually play as a pirate, and it feels the most real like that you can get with a game. It's got all the different equipment, and you can get different skins for all of your stuff, like even your music instruments, which is wild.
Yeah.
And you can customize your pirate. I wish you would explain this in the first half too. Like you just get to scroll through when you start up randomized pirates to choose from.
Yeah.
You don't get to do like a character creation.
Yep.
I really wish they'd just let you create a character, because it didn't feel like there was very many different styles to choose from. And like I randomized it a few times, and it really just didn't have a lot of options there. Now, like once you start playing and you get some gold and you have the money to buy like tattoos or, change your hair color, do all that. Yeah, you can customize them more, but like, why wouldn't you just let us start from the beginning? You know what I mean?
Did you remember the reason I gave?
No.
Okay. Anybody who's listening to this will have just heard it, but it's essentially because they didn't want people to make like essentially monsters with the type of characters they had. Cause like you could really make some funky looking, like Monster Factory type people. And they wanted the pirates to just kind of look like people, they didn't want them to get too out of control, and that's why they use the random pirate generator. But I do think a way they could improve it is because you get what, like 6 pirates. I wish you could save a pirate that you're like, that's okay, but it might not be what I want, and then shuffle in some new ones. That way, if you saw one you liked a few shuffles ago, you can be like, that's the one I actually want after going through a few. But you can't. Like, there's no way to get back to that.
Yeah.
I wish that's the only thing. I wish you could just save them, shuffle everything else, you know, maybe save another one, shuffle the rest. And like, if you're not finding anything you like, okay, then you can go back to that one you felt was okay. You know, that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get that they don't want people to make monsters, but you can control your sliders so that people can't get too wild with it.
Yeah.
You can control the customization options so that they can't. I mean, like in Pokemon, you get to create your character, but nobody can make a monster out of their character. You know what I mean? It's like, here's the basic face shapes, basic body styles.
Yeah.
You know, you can limit that stuff.
I suppose there might be a way to do it. I guess.
No, there is a way to do it. Like I said, Pokemon's a perfect example.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. I guess that's just up to them at this point if they feel like it. I think the hard part is so many people who are still playing it now aren't going to go back and change. You know what I mean?
No.
So I think it's just not an important thing at this point.
It's not important now.
Unfortunately.
I'm too late to the party.
I should have complained about it years ago.
No, it's like a small thing, you know, but I mean, when you're first starting up, you're like, wow, I don't really love any of these.
Yeah.
By the time, you know, you get a little ways in, you've changed enough probably that it's okay, right? But and I will say, like, your guys' characters look really cool.
Oh, thanks. I always forget what my guy looks like.
Both of them look like legitimate pirates, and it is pretty cool. I think maybe that's what it is. Like, the men just look better than the women choices do. The women choices don't really have a lot going for him, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you need like a beautiful pirate lady, but like it felt like there was 2 choices.
I don't need to be Keira Knightley in Pirates of the
No,
Caribbean.
I'm not aiming for that, but it's like big brute woman or old woman. There was like 2 choices.
When you were doing it, that's what kept popping up for you. It was wild. I just want like a 20 to 30-year-old pirate lady. Like, can I just have that?
I mean, I don't know. One that doesn't look like I don't even know how to describe it. Like female Arnold Schwarzenegger with the jawline, and it's like, ugh, can I get just more than 2 options? That's what it felt like.
Yeah. You weren't having a lot of luck with that.
Which is fine.
It happens. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you wanted to add or talk about, or something you thought was fun on our adventure?
So you can drink the ale.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because I didn't realize what that does to your screen when you do.
Yeah, it gets wibbly wobbly.
Yes. And like, I'm not a super lightweight, but I had 2 White Claws, and then I did that to my screen, and I was like, this is too realistic. It's going to make me sick. Like, I need a glass of water.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, like, how real they made that seem, actually.
Yeah, when it's really bad. Yeah, that's true. It came across pretty real.
That was funny. I did enjoy that.
It's so hard. There's there's some specialty chests other than just like ranks of regular treasure chests. There's one that is essentially a barrel of endless grog you can always refill, but when you're carrying that barrel, you're instantly drunk. So to get it back to the ship is so hard because you're like, oh my God. And then you got to swim drunk carrying this stupid grog barrel. And it's like, as soon as you put it down, you sober up real quick. But man, it was so hard to get on there. A funny thing is you drink too much, your character pukes, right?
Yeah.
So, well, here's the thing. If you puke on somebody, it gets in their eyes and then they can't see. It's like getting squid ink in Mario Kart.
Ew.
So if you're really crazy, if you hold up your bucket while you're puking, you will puke in the bucket and then you can use it to throw an enemy to enemies' eyes if you're really good. Which is a wild thing to do. It's like, this is disgusting. I'm glad this is a video game. Yeah. I don't have to smell this bucket on me.
Oh gosh. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of nice touches in the game that make it really fun. It looks nice.
Yeah.
It's fun to sail around just because the game looks nice. It's not ultra realistic, but it's really pretty. And the music is great in the game.
Sailing on the water and like how sometimes the way, like it's just so wavy that you sink down and you can't see anything for a little bit. And that's like wild, you know, it's so crazy. It's a fun game.
It really does seem like that's what it would feel like if you were sailing across
I'm pretty
the
sure it is.
ocean.
That's why you got to have that crow's nest, right?
Yep. It's, and I just can't say it enough. Like, it really makes you feel like you get to experience what it would be like, and it's a lot of fun because I've always wanted to do that.
You just need a warm ocean breeze with that salty air smell.
Yes. Oh, yeah. If you're going to try this out, get an air freshener that smells like ocean breeze.
Ocean breeze candle and a little fan.
Spray a little water on your face every once in a while.
Yeah, the spray bottle you use to tell your cat to get off things.
Don't do that to your cat. It doesn't work anyway.
Oh,
Just makes you angry. Just makes you have an angry cat.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, the music is good too, though. That's really enjoyable.
Yeah,
and I love how, like, if one person pulls out an instrument and starts playing and everybody else pulls out theirs, they all join in on the same song.
Yeah, you become accompaniments to the main melody.
And your harmonies. And then if you stop and start up again, you'll play a different song.
Yep.
And you know what a pirate's favorite part of a song is?
What's a pirate's favorite part of the song?
The hook.
Oh, gosh. You didn't even have to look at. You had that one ready. You've been waiting.
I'm so proud of myself.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Yeah.
I ended it.
You snuck it in on me. All right. Well, let's talk about what else you've been playing lately.
You didn't even ask me what I rate this game.
Oh, my gosh. I feel it's been too long, and I forget.
It has.
Yep. What is your rating?
I feel like I've said this a lot lately, but I give it a good 7 out of 10.
Hey, that's a solid game. 7 out of 10.
That's how I feel about it. I'm like, this is a good game. I would definitely join in again and play again.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't have any problems with it. It's just fun. Like, it's not the best game ever. It's not the smoothest. It's not, but it's really done well, and it's just enjoyable. And games like that, that's good enough. Like, you know what I mean? If you can get a lot of those, you feel like you're sitting
a solid 7 out of 10, and you're like, I'm definitely willing to come back and play this again.
Yeah.
Like, that's good.
Another nice thing about it is, like, there isn't the pressure to play it constantly. It's really easy to play, leave it, come back, and just start right back up doing whatever you want to do. And that's really nice.
That's my favorite thing about Sea of Thieves. I don't feel like I have to be playing and keeping up with whatever the new item is that you need to be strong enough, because you can do anything anybody else can do right off the bat, like I said.
Yeah.
And all it is cosmetics. And for me, like, don't get me wrong, I want to look cool, I want to look like a pirate, but I can find stuff that I like in my price range without having to play freaking 3 hours every day, you know, and grind. I don't have to do that, and that feels good.
It does. It's really, really, I feel like there's been a lot of care in how they've made it so that it is enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah, they really have. I really feel like Rare has done a good job.
Gives me, like, just makes me think about Wind Waker, but it's way better than Wind Waker. You know what I mean? Like, I love Wind Waker, don't get me wrong, but you can't drop that game and then come back days later. You're going to have no idea what the hell you were doing.
Yeah, and you can't do that.
Sailing in that is not nearly as enjoyable as sailing in this game. So it kind of, like, gets that specific itch without having any detrimental effects, you know. It's very nice that they made this
I do
game.
feel that the sailing is just the highlight of this game.
It is a lot of fun.
Like, it's fun
exploring all the different islands too, and like having battles, but the sailing and even diving underwater and looking for stuff, because sometimes there's treasure under the water. Digging for treasure, all of that's really good, but the sailing really cinched it for me for some reason. Like I said, it just is like calming and peaceful and fun, but at the same time, like at the drop of a hat, we're getting attacked.
There's somebody threatening in the distance. Let's keep your eyes sharp and your ears sharper. You know,
and that's fun too.
Oh like the tension that can happen in a second. That's what it is. Yep. I love it. All right, now we'll move on to what else you've been playing. What else have you been playing?
Lots of Northgard.
Yeah, Northgard's been the main thing.
Mucho
still.
Northgard. Yeah. They've got a new clan coming out soon, the Clan of the Owl. That sounds pretty fantastic. I think I really got to try that.
Yep.
I think
That's going to happen.
I've been enjoying
Let's hit that one again.
I don't speak. I've been enjoying Northgard a lot, getting my butt kicked pretty much every game, but hey, that's what you do. That's how you learn. The only other thing that we did, I loaded up Monster Hunter World last night, immediately got overwhelmed with my lack of inventory on absolutely everything, and spent 40 minutes running around Elder's Recess just mining for ore.
Yep.
Because I need so much ore to get a glaive that is even usable to where I'm at. And I mean, you said it last night too, because what was it that, some of the quests, my hunter rank is like 39, you said?
It's 31.
31, and I'm in master rank, and you're like, we really did push you through. You should not be here. You don't even go to this school.
It's so funny, because I have a great app that's useful for looking up like where you need to mine for items or monster parts, like what rank you need to be. Because sometimes when you're getting in between high rank and master rank, it's like, okay, is this a high rank part or is this a master rank part? It's nice to be able to look it up quickly, right? I looked up a event quest. It was a 9-star event quest, and I'm like, okay, that should be fine because it's not a master rank star. You should be able to do it. And all it is you go to Elder's Recess, you grab some blue barrels, which is like just a regular item you can get in there, and then you can mine all you want. That's all it is. It's a very easy quest, and the quest rewards gives you the ore that you want.
Yeah.
A percentage chance, right? Yeah. I'm like, this will be good. Mine ores, get ores as a quest reward.
Because I need like 40 pieces of ore.
You need to be hunter rank 50 to get it, and you're only hunter rank 31. And I think if you play the game normally, you're going to be ending the high rank in like the 40s generally. I think that's where I was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I mean, like, you're not super far behind where you would be, but
I'm kind of far behind.
I'm surprised that all the master rank quests we did haven't leveled up your hunter rank more, which is kind of wild. But
I don't think I've done a lot of master rank quests at this point, though.
Yeah, we were just trying to push you through for Legiana. That's what we were doing before.
I'm really gonna have to sink some time in to just fix my whole thing.
Yeah, fix my whole situation.
Fix the whole thing. And then I can actually attempt to move forward, because right now I don't even want to attempt to keep going forward in master rank.
That's why I was saying maybe start a new game straight up, because then you can get used to everything.
It's tempting, but man, at the same time I'm like,
I have some stuff.
I know it's not useful now, but I worked so hard for that Legiana armor and
you did.
Dual blade.
Yeah, your dual
switch
blade.
Axe.
Oh yeah,
Gosh.
you were using that a lot. That's
yes,
right.
I was using the switch axe, and I had the Legiana switch axe, and that's one thing that I did actually work hard on when I was playing Monster Hunter World.
Yep, you were grinding that.
I farmed that Legiana so much. And to just throw that all away into the void of nothingness seems kind of sad.
No, I get it. I have,
even though I'm not even wearing it now because it's like crap armor compared to where I need to be.
I'm more willing to throw away physical stuff I own than I am to start a new game sometimes. Like, it depends on the game, but like a game like that, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably feel the same. It's hard. I haven't it's been a while since I felt like I had to restart a Monster Hunter game. I did them around Monster Hunter 3 and Monster Hunter Portable Freedom Unite, and that is the title. Don't get
And if anything, it kind of prolongs the life of the game of Monster Hunter World for me.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to take some steps backwards and do some stuff, and then I can move forward. And if I just start a new game, now that I know how to do it better, I'll just kind of plow through. I'm gonna savor every little drop of this because we don't know when another one's going to come out.
We don't.
And I beat Monster Hunter Rise, so that's just... I'd be more willing to start a new game in that, honestly, than Monster Hunter World.
No. Nope, we beat it. We put too much time in it. Like, I would not start a new Monster Hunter Rise game.
Yeah, why not? Do it all over again.
Nope. I will go and run low rank quest all day with you, but I'm not getting rid of all that. I worked too hard for all that.
What about you? You've been playing a lot of Sea of Stars, right?
Yep, I jump in, I play Sea of Stars. I haven't played that as much lately. I've been really into the Spider-Man remastered. So not Spider-Man 2 out on PS5, which is getting rave reviews. Everybody loves it. I'm playing the first one and it's really good. Like it is. Like I think I'm 60% through the game now, so I'm probably going to finish it. I'm really just like grinding out everything I can. Like how it works is you got the city and then you'll get kind of you get tokens depending on the things you do. Like if you stop crime, you get crime tokens. There'll be enemy bases, you get base tokens. You apparently Peter Parker has left like a multitude of backpacks all over New York City that you can find, and that gets you like gadget tokens. You use it to unlock suits, upgrade your like web shooters, and they have so many kind of cool suits you can mix and match that all have their own powers. Like you can get Spider-Punk, and he has his special abilities. He just busts out a guitar and just hits a sick ass riff and just knocks everyone away. And I have a couple that I really like to use all the time, and it's a lot of fun. I'm excited to get through that, and I think they have the Miles Morales one, which is essentially the second one before Spider-Man 2 came out. And when that one probably goes on sale, I might pick that one up too at some point. I'm patient. I'm gonna Spider-Man out now, and then when I see that one on sale, I'll get it. And then when I'm ready for more Spider-Man, I'll go with Miles Morales because I hear good things about that one too. So I'm excited. But that's mainly. Oh, and Dungeons 4. Dungeons 4 just came out.
Yeah.
And that's a fun RTS type game. It's just interesting because you essentially build out a layer underground, mine it out, and set traps as heroes try to come in. And then once you kind of build up your army, you just go over and take over the world on up top. But I know at the later levels, it does get harder to balance those two things. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So I'm excited to keep kind of jumping into that a little bit too. So, but that's mainly what I've been dividing my time with.
That's what you've been up to.
That's what I've been up to.
You get a lot more done in the video game world than I do. I tell you what. Just sitting hovering over a keyboard, micromanaging Northgard, and getting my ass kicked.
That's why I've been smart lately. I've divided like the things I want to do across the devices we have, so that way, like, okay, everyone's using this, I can go and use this one and get farther on this game. It's the smartest I've been in a long time when it comes to planning out my gaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm doing good. I think that's it, huh?
Yep. I gave my rating. I told my joke.
Yep. And we talked about more video games. So I want to thank you, our listeners, for tuning in, checking out. Please leave a like, a comment down below on Spotify, on YouTube, anywhere. If you have suggestions for Rose and anything you'd like to see her play, I definitely do take suggestions. A la Borderlands was the last one we did.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate you. And thank you to Brother Ray for our caricatures. We appreciate you as well. And I think that's it. All right, I'm Matt.
I'm Rose.
And this has been Co-ople Mode. You keep gaming with your bestie. Ta-ta!